So I'm going to give a couple examples of pacing. And I want to say first, it is so hard. It is so hard. It took me about 2 years to really learn how to pace properly. And we are all at different places, different levels of severity, and that the same person can be in totally different places at different times of the same day. So keeping that in mind, I'm just going to give a few examples. So one is that you can do a lot more when you take little breaks. And so I did crochet squares from bed. They're about this big. And if I did 2 nonstop, I would blow up my arms. My arms would not be functional for days afterwards, maybe even a week afterwards. I could do 2, and I could do it all at once, but that's what would happen. I wouldn't be systemically crashed, and there's a difference between what you do to a part of your body that you use too much, like your fingers or your arms, and a systemic crash. But either way, it was more than my arms could handle. It would blow up my arms for a few days or a week. But I could do up to 10 squares in a day if I paced through them. So if I do like 10 stitches and rest for a little bit, and then another 10 stitches, and then rest for another bit, and another 10 stitches, and I could get through 10 squares instead of 2, and then do it again the next day. So that's the kind of difference. And I want to say also that you sort of pace the days. Like you wouldn't do 5 days in a row of that. You'd do maybe a couple days of that, and then take a day where you don't do any of it at all, and then you do another day. But you can do so much more when you pace, because you don't crash if you do it right. And it's just, yeah, it's amazing how much more you can do. Another example is how I cook. Even when I was fairly severe, I was cooking, and the way I did it was I would take a rolling desk chair like this in the kitchen, and at the table prep. If I didn't use the food processor with earplugs, I would, if I had things that needed to be cut differently than the food processor or something, I would do whatever prep needed to be done within 10 minutes. If I couldn't do it in 10 minutes, I would do 10 minutes worth, put it in the fridge, lie down for an hour, come back, do another 10 minutes. So in some cases I might start dinner at 3 o'clock, but doing it gradually, I could get it done. Whereas if I did it in one go, I would definitely crash. So I mean, usually I could do it in one go, like prep dinner, lie down for an hour, make dinner. That worked out pretty well, all while sitting down. Because my limit to sitting upright was 15 minutes at that time. So 10 minutes was a safe amount of prep time for me to do sitting upright. When I was more severe, when I was most severe, I was bedbound, and screen time, just looking at a screen, was exercise. And so I would do 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. But after a few of those, I would take an hour break and just lie in the dark and quiet. So you can pace, unless you're at the point where you have a feeding tube and any interaction will crash you, and the smell will crash you. Someone walking out the door will crash you. Someone changing your feeding tube will, bag will crash you. Unless you're there, if you're at a stage where you're looking at a screen in bed, you can still pace. And it's so important that you do, like, even at that level, especially at that level. Yeah, so wherever your envelope is, you want to stay well within it. You don't want to go up to the edge. That's dangerous. You want to be, well within it, and break it into chunks, whatever task. If you find yourself in the middle of a task, the temptation is to finish the task. You're halfway through doing laundry, and you think, I'll just, I know I'm feeling, my heart rate is going up, but and I can feel a little breathless, but I'll just finish this one load of laundry. Don't do it. Don't do it. Lie down. Lie down on the laundry room floor if you have to, but lie down until your heart rate goes down, until your breathing slows. Just, yeah, break it into little bits. Even when you have the temptation to do a full task, if you feel like you're starting to do too much, stop cold, lie down, finish it later. That is my best advice. And that has worked really well for me. And I wish you luck.